I'm at a cafe here. So the last time I tried to do my live here, it was just their air conditioning was broken and it was too hot. So it's, it's like in the mid-90s, going close to 100 here in North Carolina. I'm trying to get out of here, trying to get back to Washington, but still having all these car problems. So anyway, I gotta get to the, here you go, Andromeda. I wish I knew your real name. I was thinking of that. I don't know if you want to give your name, but that would be nice. My real name is Katanya, Katannnya, Katanya Rain. I picked that name because I love the rain, and I changed my whole name, first and last name, over 30 years ago, so it's legal now. But I don't have my birth certificate, which is a totally different name. So how do I get this to stay up again now? Shoot. Hey, oh no, what did I just do? Flipped it around. Happy Sunday to you too there. Welcome everyone who's here and who comes and goes or whatever. I wanted to just throw it out there to see what people want to talk about rather than what I think I should talk about. I mean, it'll lead back to however it's supposed to be. I think my biggest concern right now for people is kind of alerting them to the food situation. Food is not what people think it is. That is your real name? That's cool. Andromeda, that's cool. I thought it was just a made-up name because it's so cool. Do people call you Andy or any kind of nickname?
Which I never thought was supernatural, but I did give him the doctor.
So people can even put up on the screen where they're from. I wish it would stay up here. Okay. Okay, I think it'll stay on. Maybe it'll stay on now. Mandy. Oh, okay, that's cool. That was close. Good guess, Andrew. And I know you're female, right? Because I went to your channel. I think I'm subbed to your channel, but you haven't been putting anything up. Minnesota. Hey, Minnesota. You know that song? What's that guy? Shoot, I can't think of the name of that song where they call out all the different cities and states. I know I have some people that follow me from other countries, but I don't know what time it is. Like in Germany or India or some of these places, Australia and stuff, I don't really know the time zones. And this whole time thing has been kind of freaking me out. Is anyone having a problem with the time situation? The time is going really fast for me. I don't get hardly anything accomplished in a day. I'm sure people can relate to this. I know I'm not the only one. So the whole time construct, which I don't believe in time and space is real. They're just markers or measurements. But they're still messing with me, because I'm not sure how to live by it. I'm not enjoying being in this meat suit right now, unfortunately, so that's how I'm doing, or not doing. I'm having a lot of, I don't know if you call them attacks or whatever, but I'm feeling the effects of the radiation. I feel like I'm being microwaved, literally, because all my nervous system's on fire. I'm super hot. I mean, the temperatures are outrageous, and I don't believe it's real weather. That's another weaponized thing. Yeah, which EMF are you talking about? My zapper, the cow prod thing, or which one do you mean? I don't know if are you doing it too, Mandy? What do you do? Oh, my own, like, internal one, you mean? Yeah, I've been talking to it, and I've also been talking to it in the sense of, as far as these nano cuts are, I started to tell them to be gone, not anything unnatural or outside of what I want in me, and they started going away. I don't know if I'm imagining that, but they did, because they were pretty severe. If you see some of my videos following my leg, and see how it like was progressing and getting worse, and then I started using some different products on it, some acids basically. But I have to be careful, you know, like what information I put out there, because people might not know how to go by their own intuition and trust their own body to tell them what's good or not good for them. So I don't want to be the one to tell them to do something that they do wrong. And yeah, Buddha breathing, huh? I think Buddha means belly, literally your solar plexus and your soul, I think, is coming maybe from that area. I think I take it in through there, I filter it through my heart, process it through my brain, and then intuitively act on it and use my own, I can't even think of the word right now, you know what I mean? Use my own, why can't I think of the word? What's the word I'm looking for here? Discretion, not discretion, but I don't know, it's just evading me right now. So, I'm just staying here where I'm at in this area. Well, I like it that I'm at the beach. That's very healing, the salt water. I'm drinking it every day. I try to get in a couple liters at least. And so like up to 3 liters is good to use for the plasma water that most people are not aware of. Salt water is good for you, and most people are programmed to believe salt is bad for you and it dehydrates you, and it's the very opposite. You know, throw all that crap off. Looks like the police are here I'm at a restaurant here. Or not a restaurant, little cafe. It's sort of a new cafe. Not a whole lot of people here right now. Anyway, I got hit by a car yesterday. And then I told the lady, "Do you realize you just hit me?" She goes, "Oh, well, but I was going slow." Like, it's okay to hit a person. What if it was a little child? If she didn't see me, I should have hit the car really hard and scare her, wake her up. I mean, she was an older lady, but she didn't seem too concerned that she hit another older lady. Well, they were in a parking lot, so there she was going pretty slow. She was going slow, but just the fact that she wasn't paying attention and that she just ran into me. It smells like somebody got an egg sandwich, and it don't smell too good. I don't know what I'm smelling. So this is kind of early in the day for me to be doing this live stream, but I'm trying to find a good time where, you know, it would help more people. COVID idiots. Yeah, I started saying that when that first came out. I pushed that word big time. So, and my other words are flock down and flock step. They're all moving in flock step. So I think there's going to be another flock down coming soon, because it seems like the stores are prepping for it, and even like the libraries and different places like that, because I'm starting to see signs that are pushing the 6 feet thing. and more people starting to wear masks again when they don't have to. People driving alone in their car wearing a mask. That just blows me away still to this day. Like when this first hit, then I wasn't even going out much. Yeah, oh no, you know what else they're doing now? Just like that guy in the woods with the leaf blower, they're using the leaf blower now at the beach to blow the sand around on the street, where the cars drive. the sand that gets blown up or carried up, however, onto the street, they're blowing it to the side of the street, and then the wind comes along and just blows it all right back onto where the cars are driving. Like, what's the point of that? It's crazy. It's insane. It's just like I go to these places that are natural, nature, like out in the woods to get away from the noise, to the beach to get away from all the hustle and bustle, and it's quiet, relatively quiet at the beach. I mean, people are laughing and playing, kids are playing everywhere and stuff like that, but it's not like there's no like traffic sounds down there and stuff like that. Well, there's a little bit of traffic up there where the parking is, and once in a while somebody will come through with their loud car making, their music is loud, or their muffler is loud, or lack of muffler. But just that they're out there. So I talked to the guy, I says, what is the point of this? I don't even think he realized it. But he says this is what they're making them do, because they hired new people to do the sanitation, like clean the bathrooms and stuff. And the people that were working there were asking for a raise. So rather than give them a raise, they hired other people to work for cheaper, not doing a good job. Over the last month, the whole place has been disgustingly dirty. They're not replacing. The soap was empty for 3 weeks. The toilet paper wasn't replaced. I mean, you go in there and go to and there's no toilet paper. And then there's crap all over the floor and everything. They're just doing the worst job. And the guy that comes in to clean the girls' room, they're supposed to knock and wait till everybody leaves. They just knock and just walk right in with women still in there. And he grabbed something from out of the closet and took it outside, and it dropped. And it was his rolling thing to roll joints. One of those little rolling machines. So while he's supposed to be cleaning, I don't have anything against cannabis. I think cannabis is a medicine, but people are abusing it. But he shouldn't be doing that at work and not doing their job. One of the guys that got replaced, they're still there, but they have to do these side jobs, like blow sand around, that they didn't have to do before. So they're paying 2 people rather than just pay the original workers a little bit more. They hired more workers that are not doing a good job. Okay, these are coming down, so I'm not able to see them. All right. No, I have not seen that channel, but darn it, how do I get these to stay on? They just keep going back off, even though, okay. I don't know how to keep them to stay on. I can see them, like if one went away at a time, but the whole thing is just disappearing. There it goes again, so I can't read them that fast and still keep blabbing on. So, another leaf blower? Oh God, someone else complaining about it. Well, then I'm not the only one. This is ridiculous what they're... I don't know if these people are going along with it because they have to in order to make the money that they get. Now that one in the woods when I was in Washington, he was like a volunteer, but they gave him a place to park his camper for working there and doing odd jobs and stuff like that. And that's one of the odd jobs to do. And why couldn't he just do it during the time when they're switching over, people coming in and people leaving from the night before, during that 2 or 3 hour time frame where people are coming in or leaving. Hi Denise, how you doing? So it's just, I don't know, people are just going along with this nonsense, or if they really believe it's true. But I'm starting to get the belief they are mind controlled, exactly. All of us, and they're messing with our consciousness, even with us that are supposedly like awake or whatever you want to call it. I won't use that word woke, because that tells me as soon as someone says they're woke, I know that they're still under the spell and they're not really awake. Maybe to a couple things, but they can't touch what? Can't touch this. MC Hammer. Can't touch this. Oh, right, yeah, but not everyone's of divine consciousness, I don't think. I mean, we are, but not aware of it. Or how do you step out of it when you're into it or don't know it? Like, I feel really bad because my own daughter, who I thought I'd have enough influence over for her whole life, I did not vaccinate her, and she went and got vaccinated. That just breaks my heart. And now I just found out, good news, though, she's pregnant, and I'll be a grandma finally. Yay! But I don't like the idea. If she's vaccinating herself, does that mean she's going to vaccinate her baby too? I don't know how to tell her. I believe in the goddesses. I think they've hidden the goddess. They've covered it all up, and that's why they're pushing so much of the patriarchy to dissuade people from seeking the goddess. I just lately have been more like, it's not, I think God is both male and female, but they're pushing the male theme so much that to try to hide the goddess. So, and I had that in my name for a while, the Cat I Am Goddess. I don't know if you guys, any of you remember me having that name. Oh my God, the flack I was starting to get from people, like, just that I would dare call myself a goddess. Which I think we're all gods and goddess. Just because you don't think you are doesn't mean I should think I'm not, because I am. We are way more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. And it's like we're shamed into not recognizing our greatness. We are powerful beings, and they do not want you to know that. So they're going to just keep beating you down. That's why I get attacked, I'm sure. I mean, I'm under heavy attack. It's like they want you to kill yourself. That's what's happening. People give into it so easily. I mean, most people that what I've gone through probably would have killed themselves by now. What? Come on, this won't stay on. Now, I've had it before where this stayed on. So I don't know how to get it to stay on. It goes, I put it on and it just fades right off. Gives you the chance to hide them, but why would you want to hide them? I'm trying to read what you guys are saying. So I don't know. Most of you know that I'm not a religious person. I think that's a way to divide people, and there's a difference between being divine and being religious, or being tuned into the divine. Most Christians that I talk to, I got invited today to a service at the beach that of course I didn't want to go to it. And then I read in their pamphlet they give you, like their, whatever they call it, the little piece of paper that's telling me what the day's thing is about. They talk about helping the Salvation Army, which I'm totally disappointed in. I mean, I gave up on Goodwill and all these other places that are supposed to be helping people. They ain't helping shit. They choose who they want to help. They decide. I'm a person that needed help. I went to one place that I got help. Like, they gave me a $25 gas voucher. and they did not. I called 4 different places, like Catholic Charities, and the Salvation Army was one of them too. And I did not get one response from all these so-called people that are supposed to be helping homeless people. They don't help you. They're going to try to redirect me into a shelter where I will not go. And if people knew what was going on at these shelters, they would not be like saying, oh, go get help from such and such. They'll help you get into a shelter. I don't need help getting in a shelter. They're using those people. They're experimenting on them. How many homeless people have just disappeared? Where are they going? I see all these like tent cities that are there. They're there for a while, months, and then all of a sudden they're gone. They're just gone. Some, like the one in Washington, was parked outside of the Opportunity Council where they're supposed to be helping people. They help them to disappear. I don't trust Child Protective Services because that's another way they could probably collect children and for their own nefarious purposes. I don't trust any of these government agencies. They're not here to help us, I don't think. Who thinks they are? Does anyone think? What government agencies do you really think are out to help us? Oh, it's demonic, all right. What are you saying? Austin? What's in Austin? Oh my God. Shit, I lost it again. What's in Austin? I was in, is that where you're at, Denise? I was in Austin for like 2 months or something. I met one of my subs. I hung out with her at the park, and then we went to the farmer's market and stuff together. Oh. See, okay, where are they going? Where are these? It's just like, I was just listening to, I don't know, I was reading comments about the orphan trains. Like, why were there so many orphans? Where did these orphans come from? What happened to their parents? Were they taken out? Were they put into the mental asylums that there were so, how did all these hundreds and thousands of orphans come about? There's just a bunch of them on trains all of a sudden, and all those incubator babies that were at the World's Fairs. I don't know if this is true stuff they're putting out or want us to think this is true, but where? So Denise, you personally know of children that have died in the freeze, or people, I mean the homeless people, not children, the homeless? Do you know people that actually did, or is this hearsay? Because I don't want to go on, people just, they hear it from somewhere and then pass it on. I want to know people that really did, just like people that know about COVID and they heard of somebody that their sister's boyfriend's nephew's girlfriend died of COVID, but they don't really personally know anybody. They just know of people. So when I want to know of true accounts that people know of, not just, I'm not saying you're lying or anything, I just want to know, do you know personally? Oh, shoot, that's going on. When was that freeze? Because I was there during that, I was there during that time when there was snow and it went down to 17 degrees, and someone from a farmer's market actually offered his place up to stay for the next 3 nights because he knew I was in my car, and he knew I would freeze in the car. It would be really cold, so he offered me his place, and he ended up saying I could stay even longer. I stayed like 5 days, and then I moved on from there. He was so helpful. He helped me with gas and a lot of things. Oh, wow, too bad. I'm sorry about that. Were they older people that got the vaccine? Were they older people? I mean, What did your sister do? Your sister convinced you not to get it? Oh, I see. You almost froze inside the house or inside your body, or what do you mean inside? Are you homeless? I've been homeless since December of 2020. Yeah, okay, so it's mostly the older people that they're knocking off real quick. So I'm lucky, I guess. I don't know if I consider myself lucky to still be here, but they haven't got me yet. And I'm outliving all my sisters and brothers. I have my 2 out of 8 of us. There's 2 left, the youngest sister and my youngest brother, and I've outlived all the other ones, and I'm older than them all. Except one. I had one older brother who I was told was my uncle, and it turns out he was my older brother. And I talked to him before he died. Yeah, it was amazing. You know, it's snowing in Texas. It all went all the way up, I think, to Tennessee, this cold front or whatever, this snowstorm. Who just bought you a cell phone? Is it a smartphone? I don't have a smartphone. I don't want a smartphone. Your family bought you a smartphone so you could stay in contact with the all the shit that they're doing through the phone? Are people aware of this, that they're connected to their phone and you get your messages and impulses through your phone to yourself? I don't mean text messages or talking to someone. I'm talking about they are connecting us. Literally, we have operating systems in our bodies now, if no one knows about this. That's what a lot of this stuff that's going on is. We have this fungus too that's among us. All of us have this fungus in us. That's what all this is, me fighting all this off. I'm doing some more things now that are mostly acids that I'm putting on my body. Oh, they wouldn't listen to you, I see. Oh, wait, tell me about this, Mandy. Oh, your phone does more than just read your subliminal. But I think they're using our own vernacular against us with keystrokes as we speak or even think maybe, and it like comes back and attacks us somehow. I haven't figured it out, but I've been thinking about this for like a while now. A couple years ago, maybe not quite 2 years ago, but I talked to Tony Pantaleresco. Does anybody here know Tony? Tony P. He's in Canada. He's actually American. He was born in Michigan, but he's up in Canada now, Ontario. So yeah, we got to watch what words we use. But also some of it is, I was wondering, and I asked him, I want to get back on this train of thought here. I asked him if it had anything to do with how we speak and think and everything. He goes, oh no, it doesn't have anything to do with our verbiage. And I think it has everything to do with it. At least something to do with it. But Tony started, that's the word I was looking for before, discernment. We got to use our discernment. It's unfortunate though, I think Tony got taken over because at a certain point he no longer was making sense and he started talking nonsense. And like when he was herbs plus beadwork and working as an herbalist, he was great then. And then he started getting into the, building of the anti-nano buckets and stuff like that, which was still good, but I think at that point when he was, maybe it was because of his words and the way he presented things, and his whole attitude is, I do not consent attitude, started taking him down. Now I can see how much I've aged in the last couple of years, But look at Tony from when he first started doing his videos and look at him now and compare him. And I can see why people would not want to listen to him in the way he looks. I mean, all his teeth are missing. He's got all the nano triangles on his face and stuff like that. Look how much I've aged just in the last couple years. Just since I started doing my videos, started like really getting me. Okay, I have to keep doing this. I have to keep stopping and bring this up. What is bullshit? And why is this not going? What do you call bullshit? Biofilm frankincense. So that's another thing about the frankincense brings up that makes me want to talk about the food again, the frankenfood. People don't realize that food is not good for you, most food. I can hardly find any food that is of my standards to eat, and I have to constantly make exceptions. No, I'm still in North Carolina. I'm stuck here. I'm trying to get back to Washington. And I have already lost my Section 8. I don't think I'm going to be getting my own place. I can't afford rent. I only get $800 and some dollars a month to live on. Half of it goes to gas and the other half of it goes to food because they cut off my food stamps. I have to go back to Washington to reapply because I can't get them here. I went here and tried to get some emergency food stamps. They wouldn't give them to me, or anything else for that matter. They didn't help me. The social service, DSHS didn't help me. Neither did any of the churches except one place called Sister Isaac or something like that gave me a $25 gift voucher, and that's all. They didn't even call me back, let alone give me anything. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of inside work, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, every which way. It's all within us. We are our own salvation. To put it out on someone else to save you, like all these people that are, pushing the Jesus thing. I mean, I don't think Jesus was even real. I mean, a real person. I think he's an archetype, just like Buddha and all the other different, religions. They all have the same story, the same similar kind of backstory and what they do and everything. So, I don't know, it's like, I don't know. I just couldn't even go, like I got invited to go to that service this morning, but I just knew I would, be Christ-like, yeah. I mean, like, I can understand people saying, what would Jesus do, and stuff like that, but to think that he's coming back and all this stuff where they're like, expecting Jesus to save them and when they're responsible for their own salvation. Yeah, well, people take it literally and they do not, it seems like they're always putting it on someone else to do it for them, Like, I call myself a healing artist, but I don't think I do any healing of anybody else but myself. Now, I can help facilitate others in their own healing, and encourage them, be like their coach or guide or whatever you want to call it. But I do not take credit for their healing, because if they don't want to heal, they are not going to heal. Now, I've also worked with animals and have helped heal animals, but they're on a different consciousness level than we are, I guess. Like, I know back when I lived in Salt Spring Island in Canada, they came seeking me out to help heal this horse that had been sick for a really long time, and they were doing all these different things to help. It sort of had like a mange thing going on, and they were using coal tar shampoos and doing all these different things, and nothing would help it. And they sort of called me the horse whisperer or something, because I came and I like tried to communicate with the horse. And I don't even remember what I did, but they said within 3 days that horse was totally healed. So how did that happen? How did that happen when they had tried so many other things for so long, and it wasn't responding, and it was just getting worse and worse? So can anybody explain how that happened? Go home, home. Yeah, I'm ready to get out of this hell. I'm trying to see the best parts of it. I mean, the world has some beautiful places in it, you know. There's a lot of good nature, and I like to hang out with the animals and the insects and the birds and everything. You know, lately I've been kind of, well, I draw the line at mosquitoes and ticks. I had a tick in me. I'm not going to let them live on me. Oh, look who is here. I haven't seen you forever. Where are you at now, son? Where are you at? Are you still in California now, or are you back in Utah? Oh, this is ridiculous that I have to keep doing this. I can't read your messages because it keeps going off. Let's see. Oh. Are you eating your fruits? I don't push the vegetables. No. Some fruits, yeah, but vegetables, very few. Good to see you there, dude. Fitted. Is that your nickname? Lopez? Or am I supposed to not say your name? I don't know. Sorry, I busted you. It's hot out. It's threatening to rain again. But anyway, I've been better. Not feeling so great lately. I've been under a lot of stress and anxiety and stuff, just with all these car problems I had. My car not having air conditioning, having to trade it for another car that did, but I'm having problems with this car now. It's just, you know, every time it rains, it's soaking the carpet inside the car, like it's leaching up from underneath the floorboard. I don't know how that's happening, but the guy doesn't seem to know what the problem is. He thinks it's me coming in with wet feet. How come this didn't happen in my Cadillac or any other car? And the window doesn't go down. One of the windows doesn't go down. So, shit. I lost my car in this deal, and I'm just bummed out about it. Okay, no, all I have in the corner up here is an X. And on this bottom, it's just saying share, mute microphone, save highlights. And down at the bottom here is a little flag that says the chat viewing options. There's the top chat, live chat, and none, which hides all the chat messages. But I'm trying to get the live chat to stay on, and it won't. It shows it, and then it goes right off before I even get a chance to read it all. Nope, it's not there. And then I have these other ones here that, like, to remove or put using in timeout or hide, add a moderator and stuff like that. But it should be staying on. I don't know why it's not. If I do that, it turns it around. I don't know what this. Oh, this is just different colors. Woo! Can you see this? Bubbles. Can you see the bubbles? Are you seeing these effects that I'm hitting? Let's see what we get with them. Dream, glamour, 8mm. Okay, here's the dance. Can you see these? Okay, tell me if you see, can you see the bubbles? Can you see the bubbles I'm eating? There's nothing here that's telling me where I can keep this damn chat on. I never had this problem before. But then I'm having all kind of problems now. They like don't want me to be talking to you guys. My last video, I did not cut that off, and the videos before that, my live streams, they were taking them down. They were just deleting them and giving me strikes for them. So it's not me doing it, it's crewTube doing it. So can you see the bubbles? Cool, okay. I just wondered if any of this stuff shows up on your end. So that's something. Save, yes, crewTube. Okay, now I don't know oh, here's normal. The other one was like a dance thing. There's a whole bunch here. Documentary style. Wow, I got sunburned there pretty bad. It's so freaking hot here though. I did get some sunburn because I'm pretty pale. Remember, I'm from Washington State, and I, wasn't out in the sun at all, hardly. Now I practically live at the beach, because that seems to be the healthiest place for me to be. And why is this staying on now? Shut off. Okay, now I gotta hit this and to try to see. Everything's. What's the temperature in Texas now? I left Texas to go to, not because of the heat, but because at that time it was still not summer yet. But to meet my friend Ariel coming from Miami. Originally I was going to drive all the way to Miami because then I would have went from the furthest point of the United States of the northeast corner all the way down to the southwest corner in Miami, Florida. So is the longest route across the United States, a couple thousand miles. And wow, yeah. So I went from Texas. I went to meet Ariel in Florida. And he only made it as far as Gainesville because he wrecked his car and almost killed himself. So he ended up staying at his friend George's house in Gainesville, who came to get him, pick him up from the hospital. He was in the hospital. And then he got out of the hospital and I got there the next day. And so I stayed there for, I don't know, a month and a half, or almost 2 months, I think it was. And then it was getting too hot there, so I thought I'd come to North Carolina. Someone actually invited me to come here, and then I could never find them. And then in me trying to find them, they thought that I was stalking them or something. I don't know. That's not what I was doing. And it's somebody that is going through this kind of, I don't know, nano poisoning, Morgellons, whatever you want to call it. Similar things, but I could never find them, and they thought I was trying to stalk them or something, when they actually there's a comment under her own videos inviting me to come to her place if I wanted to stay at a seaside, at a place for a little while. But I don't know, she must have forgot she asked me to do that. So I just headed up the coast to where I thought it would be cooler, but then my car, it was getting hotter and hotter, and my car was starting to break down, and all these things were happening that had to do with the car mostly. And it was no cooler here than it is in Florida. It's just as hot here. So that's why I'm asking, how hot is it in Texas? I know this weather ain't real. See, there should be a place where I can respond to you guys. Like, I could type things in to give you links or whatever. It's only 77 degrees in California. Oh my God. I lived in Southern California in Orange County for 16 years. Oh, hello, Lotus. How you doing, bunny baby? I don't know how to get it on. Maybe you know. Do you know, Lotus, how to get the chat on permanently? So if I want to type in something or leave a link or respond or anything, I can do it. But this just keeps going off and off. It's just giving me 3 options, and it's not staying on. So how can I get this to stay on? This is my newer iPad, so this should be working. I don't, I had a piece of crap Alcatel iPad that I got from T-Mobile, and I still owe for 8 months on it, and it's so broken. The charging port is so damn, like, it's intentionally designed that way to break down. I took it in to have it repaired. They says it's irreparable. They can't even fix it. So then I almost got a smartphone, but I didn't stay with that choice. And so I ended up getting another iPad because I like my iPad, which is a 6th generation iPad, and they're up to 11 now, I think. But trying to find a cover for it was kind of hard, but I managed to get one that's on here, but it's not like the one I had. I like the other one better, but it was breaking and it was going to get worse. So I don't have any smart devices. I do have my iPad, and my phone is a flip phone. So I'm trying to stay away from these connections, and there's hardly any like 5G towers around where I'm at because I'm at the beach and they're not. I mean, you get Wi-Fi, but the towers aren't right there, even though they can. I don't know how far they can go. 5G doesn't go very far, and I don't think 5G is meant so much for, like, we have plenty of the 4G or 3G. I'm still on 2G on my phone. So if we can still use these cellular devices, without this newer tech, which is actually weapons. They're weapons. And they're connecting to people, but I'm being attacked somehow, but not necessarily through a smartphone. But I don't know how they're activating it. Oh, the towers? Yeah, I mean, it's best to stay away from them if you can. I mean, this is probably the safest places along the beach and probably in the national forest where there are no, all the towers can't be put in there. Yeah, I've been following Lookout for Charlie channel. And I just listened to I was listening to one of his videos. That's why I came on a little late, because I was listening to what he was just talking about, what they're doing in our sleep, how they're affecting us, our dreams, how they can implant things into your subconscious in the dreaming state. And these people, he was showing about how all the moons, the people are seeing 2 moons or 2 suns. And I mean, I don't, sometimes it's hard to make out their point because they know what they're talking about, but when they're talking about, see, it won't even stay on long enough for me to read one of them. Be aware of every word you say and type and the power you truly hold or give away. He argues in his sleep. So he's giving commands and stuff. Divine discernment, yep. What kind of a boss? You mean the boss of the business, or he's just got that authoritarian mentality? And I grew up under that with my mother. And so I came to really resent authority. And so that's part of why I fight back against the system, because I don't like anybody telling me what to do. And that's why I don't do really well with, the cops and stuff like that. Although I'm trying to keep myself not don't get overreactive or anything, Because I ended up in jail that one time, and I don't know if I would be considered truly resisting arrest. I didn't want to go along with them, but that's what they called it, because I started to speak out against, for my rights, and they call that resisting arrest when you try to stand up for yourself. When you start voicing your right to this or that and the other thing, that's what they call resisting arrest. So that was one of the charges I had. and the other charge was possession paraphernalia, and the other one was my own medicine, which I had the prescription for. Granted, it was old, but it was still, and they had to drop all of it. But I still had to go through 9 days of that bullshit in jail, and I was traumatized from that. I got some PTSD from it. He's awesome sauce. Who are you talking about? Somebody's got some sauce going on. Gosh. Well, they haven't been too bad here. And the Carolinas are supposed to be not so good about the weed, the cannabis situation, but I haven't had any problem here with that. Because this happened, the jail thing happened in Florida in St. Augustine. They literally pulled me out of the car without my shoes on. In the middle of the night, it was 3 o'clock in the morning. No, it's not legal here. That's what I'm saying. In the Carolinas, it's not. In Idaho's the worst. And you know, for you guys that know that I was in Idaho doing the Owen Benjamin thing. There's somebody else I follow that treats these Hollywood celebrities. She does some kind of a medical treatment on them, which I'm not sure what it is. I'm still trying to figure it out. But she doesn't say, and she can't say who she's treated. She's saying they're all trannies. And she thinks Owen Benjamin is a tranny. And that little Christina Ricci that he used to date is a dude. A little dude. Yeah, I didn't have much problems in Texas at all with that. I had it in Tennessee. But they let me go. They took my weed and my pipe, and they just didn't make an issue out of it. And they just told me I could leave. But then they probably go smoke it later. And I'm not getting it from the dispensaries anymore because I don't trust it. I think there's probably the, what do you call it, the graphene oxide, I think is in there. And I bet they're putting it in tat ink. I don't trust tattoos now. I think there's something sinister going on. All of a sudden there's tattoo parlors on every corner, just like a bar. Why is that? And why are so many people getting them? I was almost tempted to get it once, you know, to have a bond with my daughter, and we would get something that meant something to us, but I won't do it now. I know too much. I know better than to do it. There is something in the ink. Trust me. I can't, you know, you don't have to believe me, but I wouldn't do it. Just like I wouldn't put a vaccine in me. I won't put ink in me. Anything foreign to your system, your body's gonna fight back. If you even have any immune system at all, which I believe my immune system's pretty good, because I haven't abused it. I've avoided. That's probably been my biggest thing in my whole life, that I've avoided things for most of my life. Like I knew about the fluoride. I knew about the fluoride like over 30 years ago, before my daughter was born. My daughter just turned 31. And she's finally gonna have a baby. So I'll be a grandma. But, and now I've been watching, you know, been going along with the food, and now I'm starting to know more things about food and the whole system. Like, if you go into the supermarkets and you start reading those labels, 8 out of 10, I mean, already it's stale food if it's packaged. It's stale, right off the bat. But even, you know, they got all these additives and colorant and dyes and this and that to retain freshness and stuff. Okay, now in the last couple years, all of a sudden, artificial flavor went to natural flavor, and they're even using the no artificial flavor as the selling point while they slip in this natural flavor. What do you think this natural flavor is? And remember, if you don't know about the movie Soylent Green that was out in the 80s, it was set in the year 2022. This is promoting the cannibalism as far as I'm concerned, because babies and people are about as natural as it gets. Okay, I have to. Unless you grow it, really, yeah. Weeds are actually a good thing. They make any, like dandelions are probably one of the. Some of these things are meant to be like medicine for us. Cannabis is medicine. Even certain foods like garlic and onions are not what you think they are. They are toxic, but they're meant to purge us. But we're so used to them, like being part of the diet and using to flavor foods, that people are immune to their properties as far as a medicine goes. But all vegetables are not what you think. They are not healthy. People think that they're on this vegan diet and vegetarianism. That it's so sinister. It's awful. It's frankenfoods for sure. And all the greens and celery and different whatever beans, whatever you're talking about. These are like man-made things. They are basically frankenfoods. They are not natural. You don't find these growing if it ain't growing naturally out in the wilderness or in the woods or something, you can't even really call it food. And now that they've got the natural flavoring, and aside from the natural flavoring, they're putting in all these plant oils that are not good either. People in all these milks, like oat milk and grains and almond milk, these are not milk. These are water from plants that grains are not good for us. They're not. And vegetables are full of cellulose. Do you know what cellulose is? And they're putting the supplements into cellulose capsules instead of the gelatin capsules that they used to use that are naturally come from cow hooves, from the cows. And so they have you believing that you're on some kind of good diet when you eat salads and stuff. It's not. Fermented food I would trust more. Just have ED. Oh, they're way worse than that. The vegans and vegetarians never will ever hydrate at the cellular level. Never. They never did, they never would. The fiber is so bad. You can't digest these vegetables. They're insoluble fibers, right? They're unable to be digested by us. And so your body's constantly fighting this. And if you see vegans, or vegans, whatever you want to call them, that have been doing this for like over 10 years, you could see how unhealthy they are. You could see their dark circles or eyes. They're just not healthy. Their skin is transparent. Look at Santos Bonacci. I don't trust him anymore. Just the fact that he's pushing that vegan diet and some of the other shit he talks about, he's capitalizing on people. He's another Owen Benjamin. And he threatened me too. Santos did, personally, in a direct message. He personally threatened me that he would, if I disagreed with him, he would ban me. I just unsubscribed from him. Which is food for the brain? That's all I'm seeing. I don't see. What's food for the brain? Animal fat, yep. Because our brains are made of fat, literally. Yeah, I do. I still can't agree with the vegetarian there. With the eggs, yes. Meat, eggs, raw dairy. Unfortunately, the dairy has been pasteurized, but there's still maybe some nutrients in it. I use half and half. I drink straight like milk, because the milk here, the raw milk that I'm closest to here is still like 25 miles away, and they want $22 a gallon for it. They sell it at the market down here for $10.99 for a half a gallon. It's $11 for a half gallon, so it makes it $22 a gallon. No, I have never really slaughtered an animal. I've thought of that too, and I think I could eventually, yeah, because of what I know now, I think I could. In the past, you know, I mean, I don't like I've never had like chickens or anything like that, which I would like to have if I ever had like my own farm. I used to fish too. I'm a fisher person big time. I've been deep sea fishing in way south Mexican waters where it's really cold out on big commercial boats. My rich friend that owns the island in Costa Rica has a commercial fishing boat, him and another guy. I don't know if he still has it or not, but this was like in San Diego. And I used to go deep sea fishing with him all the time and keep the fish. I don't believe in this catch and release crap. How do you hypnotize a chicken? Is this a joke? Oh, I've never been to Chesapeake Bay. I was thinking of going up the coast to what? New England, where I haven't been very much. You know, I got as far as maybe Virginia, but I never got into like Connecticut and Massachusetts or Maine. I'd like to go to Maine. So I don't know. There's no route from here in North Carolina that goes straight up the coast. You have to go inland and up and then cut over on the small roads, I guess. Where are your folks? They're in, I didn't see where you said they were. Oh, on Chesapeake. Or steps away from the Chesapeake Bay, you mean? Oh, Annapolis. Oh. Let's see, I probably was in Maryland. Because I grew up in Pennsylvania. I was born in New York, upstate New York, and then I left there when I was like 10, and then I went to Pittsburgh where I went to school, got my teacher's degree and stuff. I had my teacher's degree by the time I was 19 in cosmetology, so now I'm to the point where I'm looking for a place to have my healing center where I can do, what I feel I do best and help people. Massage, aromatherapy massage is what I do. And other related things. I mean, nutrition and stuff. I see all these people pushing health and nutritionists, and they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. They're on this bandwagon, and it's bullshit. And they're charging people a lot of money for these consultations that I give away for free. But it's like, holy shit, people are paying money to be misinformed about a serious thing. We do not need as much food as people think. And all these preppers are like storing up all this food so they can keep themselves nice and fat or whatever. All these, I call it people kibble. You do not need that much food. We don't, the most we should be doing is eating one meal a day, maybe a little snack here and there, So I eat very little, but there's nothing to choose from. Seriously, even kibble's not good for your animals. It dehydrates them so bad. It's all dried out. You have to give them all kind of extra fluids and stuff, and that's like torture for an animal to feed them food like that. I fed my cats raw liver, fish. I buy fish at the supermarket that's like marked down or something. They'll eat it. And I used to get cow livers. Like the first time I ever got one, it was like 15 pounds, a huge cow liver, and it was only $4.50. I had them cut it in quarters, and then I'd freeze it and take out a quarter at a time, and then just slice it up and give it to them like that. They loved it, and I let them run wild, and they would eat birds and mice and stuff like that, because that's how they're supposed to be. I think having pets in a way doesn't always sit right with me. It's like we're incarcerating them, or forcing them to live how we think they should live when they're supposed to be out in the wild. Yeah, why not just digest it, but just assimilating it and use it, and it's like, it's not serving us. I mean, there's just so much that we don't know about food, and people think they know it, and they don't. Okay, lately I've been pushing the plasma water, which is the seawater. Where do you get quality, nutrient-dense foods? Where? Tell me. I want to know. People are saying, if you eat well, what does eating well mean? They don't even know what it means to eat well. Most people don't. So tell me, where do you get these? Give me examples of these foods you're talking about. Seriously, I really want to know what people are, where they're getting this and what they're thinking. I mean, where they're actually getting the food, not the information, the food. Well, the information too, but mainly I want to know where, like, I only buy my meats from, I buy nothing at the supermarket except my citrus, lemons and limes. Like, yeah, like that. It would be like, some things I can get at the farmer's markets, but I don't eat vegetables. So that eliminates a lot, especially the nightshades. And the only vegetables I still eat that I think are somewhat maybe healthy are beets and sweet potatoes or yams. The ones grown under the ground that don't have the like open lettuce and stuff that has all the fallout from the chemtrails, you know, full of metals. Not that it's not in the soil, which it is too. Yeah, raw yogurt and cheese. If you can get raw yogurt, you have to make your own from raw milk. Where do you get raw yogurt? Where? You can't even get, Trader Joe's doesn't even have anything good at Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and all these places that are pushing that they're like these healthy places to buy food. Too bad you have to go to the food bank. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry you have to do that. I mean, I've gone to the food bank, but there's literally so little that I can take from them. And they look at me like I'm like, how ungrateful are you because you want specific foods. Well, yeah, I do, because I care about my health. I'm not going to just eat anything just to eat. I will do without. And I've actually because I've been turned away at multiple different food banks because I would not put a mask on. I won't do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll starve first. I'm not so concerned about living in this world the way it is. I just don't want to destroy myself in the process. So it's really hard, the things I come up against, because of my attitude. Like just at the Canadian border, they told me to wear a mask. I go, no, I'm not going to put a mask on. I'm not going to do it. They go, well, if you don't put one on, we're going to have to put you in a cell. Guess where I ended up? Surprise! In the cell, and I just stayed in there. I don't care. I'm not going to, do. That's not even a law. A mandate is not a law. You have to go back and read your. Yeah, I get food from like people that give it to me, the food bank or whatever, and I just give it to homeless people. I pass it on. Clothes, food. Like today, a girl came up and asked me for money. I can't give people money. I'm not to that point where I can afford to give people money. Oh yeah, you have to buy a share in the cow. It's called cow share. I'm not in any one place to do that. So it's probably a good thing if you live there and you're established there. But I just won't, I can't afford to. You buy it like you own 1/4 of the cow. And so you get all the milk and whatever, and then you can make your own dairy and your own cheese and your own yogurt, whatever. I wish I could make my own ice cream. So for the only ice cream that I'll eat right now is Haagen-Dazs. It has egg yolk and cream and the flavor, like whether it's chocolate, vanilla, coffee, or strawberry. They're the only ones that have less than 5 ingredients in them. And they do have sugar, but sugar isn't as bad as they've made it out to be. We need some sugar to operate on our brain and energy and stuff like that. Not that I'm pushing sugar, but what is worse than sugar is starch. Starch is the forbidden food that's in the Bible. Starch. The forbidden fruit is starch. Now, what's in that, Jenny's? I've never seen that, but I've seen these Bluebell and every other brand. The only other brand I've seen that doesn't have all this stuff in it is called Strauss. I bet you Jenny's has something in it. They're putting gums in it, guar gum, this, all different kind of gums. They're fillers, undigestible fillers. They're starch. I just got that. Look at, do you have a, oh, who was that just said that? Denise, do you have that ice cream in your freezer right now? Can you get it and look at the label, please? I eat organic raw lamb from the grocery store. Or used to get from the local. Yeah, I only go to the butcher or at the farmer's market. Sometimes they carry these things. They have steaks, $179 for one steak. One steak. I forget what they're called. It's like that's what it costs for one steak. They go, yeah, and they're sold out of it all the time. They sell out of it. This is a affluent neighborhood where I live. There's a lot of wealthy people that could probably afford that. Oh, can you even call her and ask her to read the label? Because I'm willing to bet you, I don't know about this Jenny's brand, if maybe, but I bet you any money that there's something in it that I won't eat. If it's got natural flavor in it, boom, that's where I draw the line. I will not eat anything. And because I have this so strongly convicted in me, I read so many things, and it's like at least 8 out of 10 things in the supermarket. Just because it's expensive doesn't make it good, and I think that's part of the trap. People think, oh, this is $8.99 a pint. This must be really good stuff. And it's not. It's not. And people are tricked that way. They don't know. Like, Haagen-Dazs is one of the cheapest ones. I still can't believe it. It used to be the more expensive one. Now it's one of the cheapest ones. All these other crappy ones are coming out with this Bluebell and this, even Ben & Jerry's and all these other brands are no good. None of them. None of them. Read every single ice cream when you go to the store next. Read Haagen-Dazs and read that there's only 5 or less ingredients. There's going to be cream, sugar, egg yolk, which most of the ice creams do not have egg yolk in it. How many ice creams have, the only other brand was that Strauss brand. And I did see one other brand that was like the store brand of, oh shit, it was in Texas. No, it was in Florida. I don't know how far these companies go, but it was Fresh Foods or something. I think it was Fresh Foods. But that's the only one, and I use the Haagen-Dazs to add even more raw egg yolk. I put 2 or 3 egg yolks on top of the egg yolks that are already in the Haagen-Dazs. I just let it melt down. I might add some extra half and half or cream, whatever I have, to thin it down a little bit, and then I add in to make it less sweet too, to cut the sugar, and then I add my essential oils. In the vanilla I put clove oil, and in the chocolate I put peppermint in it, and it tastes just like the peppermint Girl Scout cookies. Amazing. It's so good. But I use them mostly as carriers and to get the fat and the essential oils in the egg yolk. So it's not like, I mean, of course it tastes good, but it's no, I don't really do tahini. I haven't been. So it is so limited what I do. I have like my morning drink. I make my lemonade still, and I put in yeah, I don't know about sesame. I'm gonna have to check that out, because a lot of the seeds are probably not good. Seed oils and stuff. I think we've been misled about that too. There's a guy called, you might want to check him out. Maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask him. This guy's name is Darko Velcek, Velcek. See, I could be typing this in to show you this name, but I can't get it to come up, whatever. So, his name is Darko, D-A-R-K-O, Velcek, V-E-L-C-E-K, and he is in Peru, South America. He lives in the Amazon forest on the outskirts of it. He participates in ayahuasca ceremonies and stuff, and he's actually a little bit younger than me. I think he's 66 now. But he is a doctor, a veterinarian, and he knows a lot of stuff about the body and how it works on levels we can't even fathom, you know, but he knows this. Hi, Wendy. Why won't it let you? What's it doing? Explain it to me so I can be aware of this in case it happens to anyone else. Can you tell me what it did, Wendy? Yeah, I know we already have DMT. We get a major DMT release when we die, and they got people afraid of dying, and that's how they control a lot of people with this fear of death thing. Oh. Okay. Thank you, Wendy, for trying. And it's not letting you? Whoa, okay, that says something. Did you? I had a near-death experience, but I don't remember a whole lot about it. I remember the light thing. See, there's tons of ingredients, she said. I knew it. Whoops, shoot, I just did that wrong. Okay. You can? What do you do? See, you can't trust these things unless you know what to look for in these ingredients. If they have more than 5, or if they have something you don't recognize as an ingredient and you don't know how to pronounce it, that right off the bat tells you. That's all that should be in ice cream is milk or cream, dairy, sugar, egg yolk, which most of them don't have. That's like the healthiest ingredient in the whole thing. And then the flavor, whether it's coffee or chocolate or strawberry or vanilla. And that's the only 4 flavors that they have. They have vanilla and vanilla bean, so that makes 5 different kinds. But there's 2 vanillas. Oh, God. This damn thing. There are tons of ingredients. If you see, like, when I pick something up to read it and I see this big long list of ingredients, it's like right off the bat I know it. Okay, the other thing that's in a lot of foods that I won't eat is canola oil. They're putting it in everything. Do you know what canola oil stands for? Canola oil is basically rapeseed. All right. Well, I just wanted somebody to read them off to show you how people are deluded because they think it tastes good, that it must be good. That doesn't mean anything. People, like, I try to tell people, I try to educate them. They go, but I like how this one tastes. Like, oh, go ahead, then eat it. If you don't care if you like the taste of poison and you think it's good, you know, that you'd rather have poison than something that's good for you. I just do without stuff. I don't need to have everything everybody thinks they need to have. People are so, like, guided by taste instead of what's healthy. Canned from Canada, right. That's what it means. That's what it's machine oil. They use it to oil machinery, cars, trucks. It's industrial oil. And there's like at least 10 different not so good consequences of using it, and cancer is one of them. It's so bad for you. Look it up and see. Just put in the negative effects. Type in negative effects of canola oil. I mean, they're raping you. It's rapeseed. It's called rapeseed. Yeah, people think it's healthy, and it's not. And it's in all of the bakeries are using it in their baked goods. since I left Washington, how many states have I traveled through? At least 20, 25 or more to get across the country. There's only been 4, maybe 5 now, because I just found another one. 5 real bakeries. Well, this one bakery does use, I don't know if it's canola oil. It might be, but they use oil in some of their stuff. And but they did have things with butter in it. So I only buy the stuff with butter. I don't buy any stuff that has oil in it. Yeah, lard is better, or tallow, or, you know. Yep, all those things that people just overlook. The natural flavors we were just talking about, Wendy, like maybe before you came on. The natural flavors, do you know what they are? They're natural, all right. Soylent Green is here. It's been here. I think coconut oil is still fairly safe to use. I don't, you know, I got to do a little more research on that, but you can, it's like a natural antibiotic. And if you put more essential oil, it uses a carrier for essential oils, it's probably okay. Aspartame, all these, people even think, shoot, what is it? Stevia is good, and it's not. Regular cane sugar is better than any of these artificial sugar replacements. Or ghee.
Yeah, great. Tomorrow is my last shift though.
Yeah, I got duck fat too, but I have it in my cooler, but I haven't had an opportunity to use it for anything. What's EBT delivery mean? Delivery. They deliver it to your house? Your food stamps pay for it? Or what does EBT delivery at Walmart mean? And I don't have my I have my EBT card now because it was stolen, and I got another one, but now they stopped like in May, my food stamps stopped. So that's all the more reason I can't eat, because I can't afford to eat. I had here at this place here, I had a cheese, she makes this cheesecake out of eggs and cream and butter. It's a big blob of fat. It tastes so good too. But a lot of her things she does use oil in them. But she has 3 things that I'll buy that are made with butter. And one of them are pecan bars. And the other one is, it's a cream cheese type thing. It's pretty good though.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks, I appreciate it.
I guess it's alright to stay here, I don't know. Yeah, they're letting, you can actually use your EBT on Amazon too. You can order stuff. I bought my salt, I bought Celtic salt with my EBT card, and it was $50. Anybody else using the Celtic sea salt? That's what I am drinking every day in my water. I put a teaspoon per liter of Celtic salt, not Himalayan salt. Forget the Himalayan salt. The pink sea salt is not as good. So the Celtic is more like a gray, light grayish white color. And then I put that into a liter of water, 1 teaspoon per liter. Now you could go even start off with a half a teaspoon, however much you can handle of the salt. Just keep adding it. Yeah, I've been eating tuna as one of the few. There's this brand that I found at one of these local little markets that's like $4 a can, but it's not packed in, I don't like sardines. I wish I did because they're convenient and easy to get, but I just never really liked them. I give them to cats or other people. But these, shoot, what was I just talking about? Oh, the tuna is not packed in vegetable oil or broth. See, I don't know if, it's probably not that big of a deal, but it's just strictly the tuna, not even added water. It's just the liquid water from the tuna itself. I mean, it's going to be more expensive, but then I justify paying more because I only eat the best and I eat less food. So rather than spending, you know, like say $30 on a bunch of food, I get $30 and maybe only get like a few things. The same amount of money, I'll just eat less. And I'm used to it because like I said, I've been turned away from food banks because they won't go along with this bullshit Bolshevik nonsense. I'm not going to cover my face up. Yeah, I like salmon. That's probably the safest maybe food that is, you know, accessible to most people. I don't know if I've ever even had lox. I don't know. But I do like salmon, and I would eat salmon. Like if somebody took me out to eat or something, I would get salmon. I can't afford to eat at most places, you know, like $20 a clip. I did treat myself on my birthday. A couple weeks ago, I went to a, well, it's less mercury, that's good, you know. Packed in salt. What kind of salt, though? Could be potassium chloride, just like in the table salt. But it's probably okay. I don't know. It's probably not a big deal. I'm really, really strict with myself, but I've been cheating a couple. You know, I do some like wheat. I'm trying to get away from the wheat. It's so hard. Well, that's good that it's sea salt. I don't know if it specifies what kind, but it's probably better than just regular salt. But I started to tell you what I got for my birthday meal. I bought, and it fed me 3 meals, 3 different meals. That day, the next day, and then later the next day. I got corned beef and cabbage and potato. It was a real Irish restaurant that made it all from scratch. It was so good. It was like one of the best meals I've had in like a long time. It was like homemade food, and they made it themselves. They corned the beef, and I'm sure they get better cuts of beef. But that was one of the cheaper meals, and that was like $20. But it fed me for three different meals out of it, because I don't eat that much at a meal. Even if I only got 2 out of it, it would have been worth it. I mean, it was still worth it either way. But it lasted me a couple days, so that was pretty good. And then I drink about, when I can get raw milk, I drink about 1 liter a day of the raw milk. So a gallon will last me 4 days. And so lately I've been just drinking half and half to get the fat. And I just love the milk and the taste of the milk, the thick cream of it. I could probably just drink straight cream too. I know my daughter and her guy would be laughing at me because I like cream so much, but I know it's better for us than everybody that avoids everything. People avoid fat. They got all these low fat, no fat diets and propaganda. Fat and salt are the 2 things we need the most. So look at that food pyramid and turn it upside down. Put the fats that are like sparingly at the top. The fat should be the most of what we get, and then down at the bottom should be the grains, or just a little bit, if anything. Grains are not good for us. Ever since they introduced the agriculture, they have been literally poisoning us. It maybe sustains life, but not to any real great degree. So, the food is, I don't know, it's like kind of hard for me to be around people, like living with people, and then it becomes an issue all the time because I don't eat what most people eat, and they're looking at me like I'm the crazy one because I don't go along with it while they're eating it. So I think part of them is it's starting to affect them. Like they're thinking about it, but they still are so addicted to the food that they can't give it up. So it's like a drug addict. Everyone is addicted to food, me included, because I'm having a hard time getting off the wheat. No, I don't think I've ever had black garlic. But I would think that was going to be more of a medicine than a food. Just like all the spices, almost all the spices, are toxic. They are meant for helping us to heal and purge. Purge, like, purge. And people are getting, they're building up a tolerance to all these things so that if they ever actually needed them, it wouldn't work, or you'd have to have massive amounts of it. So I've quit garlic and onions. I had some, I just threw them away. I just left them where if somebody wanted them, they could have them. Sounds like it's thundering outside. Maybe it's going to rain. Okay, turmeric's another one that's not good for us. Sorry. Black pepper and turmeric are both. They're toxic, both of them. They're meant for healing purpose to make you purge. They are not meant to be eaten as a food. If you go listen to Darko, he'll tell you that. It's medicine, yeah. But for what? You know, like just randomly eating it and saying, oh, it's a medicine and I'm going to eat it because it's a medicine. If you're not specifically eating it as a medicine for a certain reason, then you're just going along with the program and eating it and kidding yourself. I mean, I still eat onions some. I just love them. That's my favorite food, literally, is onions. So, I mean, I've been eating less, you know, like I said, I threw them out, I got rid of them, and, but that doesn't mean I don't like them, I still love them. But, so I guess I'll start losing weight. You know, it's almost like a permanent, not actually, oh, I love caramelized onions, don't even talk about it, don't even, I love them. That was my thing. I used to have videos of me, you know, like cooking foods and stuff like that, and I thought they were healthy, like this is like years ago, but I had to take all those videos down because if it had tomatoes in it, if it had onion, it had, you know, wheat, everything. It's just like I have no cooking videos hardly left. I'm surprised. I had that one video that I put up that had the yams and pineapple and pecans. The thing got like over 1,000 views. I couldn't believe that one took off like that. I don't know, that doesn't sound too good to me, the dulcinea. But I do love onions. So check out that guy's channel. Just, you know, he's got all these listings of different diseases that, like, I agree, they are all the same thing. They are toxic blood, and we can cleanse our blood and get a new fresh supply, but you'll feel like shit for a while until you detox all this stuff out. And the ones that are going to feel the worst are probably the vegans and vegetarians, because they've been chronically dehydrated for a long time. Yeah, we all have fungus, all of us. That's what this is that I'm fighting. All this stuff like my leg and stuff that I've been showing on my videos, it's actually clearing up. The channel, Darko Velcek, Velcek, and he's in Peru. He lives in, you know, right on the edge of the Amazon jungle. I wish I could be there, but I don't know that I could handle the heat. Just like I have a friend that has the island in Costa Rica, but people said it's not necessarily as hot there, so I don't know. But I can't get a hold of him now for whatever reason. I've sent him letters that have come back, and I just lost contact with him. You would think in this day and age with all the internet and everything, we'd be able to contact people better, but I can't. You can't even look, like you used to be able to dial 411 and get somebody's phone number. You can't do that anymore. If you can, it costs a fortune. which I can't afford. But I mean, I literally sent letters, you know, snail mail, but I've gotten no response. And I used to be his personal manservant. I did his massage. I did his manicures, pedicures. I colored his hair. I even did his chest hair and everything. I was just his, like I kept him, you know, all in order and kept him looking good and everything. He's a good-looking guy, and he's like a, you know, multi-millionaire. But he was my friend, somebody that we both got clean at the same time. Can you imagine being a heroin addict? This was back in the 80s, so I've been clean ever since early 80s. So I've been onto this stuff since I've been 33, and most of you know that I'm just turned 71 this month. So, can you imagine being a heroin addict and having just a constant supply of money to just keep buying it? Shit, I don't know, man. That seems crazy. So, but he managed to stay clean. Like, we both got clean. Actually, we had the same quit date. There was 3 of us that were like the 3 musketeers. And actually, one of them became my boyfriend for a short time, but he liked me more than I liked him kind of thing, and it just didn't work out. So, anyway, but we were all buddies. And now I can't find him, so. He probably would let me live there. He's 5 houses on this island in Costa Rica. And last I knew, he had 5 when I was still in contact with him, but I never went there. I mean, he would call me from San Diego and say, "Get down here and cut my hair." I have to drive like 2.5 hours to San Diego from Newport Beach, Corona del Mar, all the way down there. I mean, he would pay me a couple of $100 to do it. But he wouldn't let anybody else touch his hair. And he said I gave the best. He traveled all over the world and got massages everywhere. And he said I was the best masseuse in the world, in his world anyway, where he could pay any money anywhere. And he actually put me through shiatsu school because that's the form of massage he liked the best. So he paid my way through there. Even after I had my license and my teacher's license and everything, he paid my way through that schooling. So, which is a good thing, I guess. But now I have my table, but because of this COVID thing, nobody wants to be touched. There's the, don't, germs, oh God. Oh my God, it's crazy how people are so afraid of the germs. Germ theory. Still a theory. Still a theory. I'm glad I'm hardly afraid of anything. Things that still freak me out are like snakes and critters like that, you know, like wild animals. But I'm trying to make friends with them and try to be okay with them. Anybody got any pointers on that? How to make friends with a snake or something? I mean, I'm still afraid to pick up a garter snake, and some of these other snakes, I don't even know how to identify them. Shoot, see, I could type that in. Yeah, and Darko said to me, he says, be careful because he's targeted, so. But he doesn't ever talk about the nano stuff, so that makes me curious why he's not talking about like Morgellons. And I mean, he has a list of all these different diseases that you could go through, and he'll say every single one of them relates back to toxic blood and people not hydrating at the cellular level. You know, you could drink water all day, but if it doesn't have salt in it, you're not getting the minerals. And you don't want to be wasting your money buying supplements, especially now they're packed in cellulose capsules, which we can't even digest. So, not good. Okay, well, it's getting to be 100 minutes. Velsic, yeah, that's his name. That's spelled correctly and everything. Darko Velsic. And he's in Peru. He's a wealth of information. I'm going to try to get him to talk more about he started to touch on like the biofilm, which is something I'm dealing with all the time. I put the cayenne in my eyes to clear out the film, the biofilm, because it accumulates and gets my eyes are. In fact, I could probably do it right today. Maybe I'll do it. I have to go do some laundry pretty soon here. Sunday is my laundry day, so because I can't do anything, I can't do any business stuff on Sunday, so I make that my like day to do my live streams or my laundry. I don't have to do my laundry every week, but every other week, every couple weeks anyway. So, and it gets so hot here, I'm always, sweaty and just having to change my clothes all the time. It's awfully hot here, and I don't know if I'm more affected than other people, maybe because for one thing I'm not acclimated, but I think there's something being activated in me that feels like the radiation is affecting me more than other people. I feel literally like I'm being microwaved because it like burns like unnaturally. I mean, I've been in hot climates a lot, different. I've been on trips down south in Florida. I used to go fishing in Clearwater. I mean, this is like many years ago. I don't know about them. But, and I've never felt heat that hurt me this bad, that literally hurts me. It feels like a weapon, and it wasn't like I was expecting it or anything, so it's not like I could create it, and because I wouldn't even know how to do that. Why would I do that anyway? And I'm trying to make a positive thing and like not let it affect me so much, but it does. It's just so much. Yeah, the chemtrails have all the heavy metals in them, right? That pretty pink sky that you see out there, that's lithium. And I got sucked into that like many, many years ago. My doctor gave me lithium for, I forget whatever the reason was. And it literally made me walk sideways. I didn't realize that I was not walking straight ahead. I was walking sideways. My boyfriend had to pull me out of almost got hit by a car. I was walking right into the traffic and didn't realize I was walking on an angle like that. So that's pretty scary. But, like, I guess maybe part of it's because I'm older and I've been more exposed to it for longer. But I've also been avoiding things like fluoride. I knew about the fluoride because I was born in Newburgh, New York, where they had the Newburgh-Kingston trials for the fluoride experimentation back in the late 40s. And then I was born in 51. All still going on. They did not tell the residents there. They were experimenting on us. And we were the test city, and Kingston was the other. They didn't have the fluoride. We did. So, forever, and then I left Newburgh when I was 10 and moved to Pittsburgh, but by that time I don't know if it was everywhere. There were some places not allowing it to go in, fighting it at the local level, but I bet now it's everywhere. I bet you can't even fight it anymore. I bet it's in every major city, and maybe not so, it's not going to be in well water, I don't think, but who knows, there might be other things in there. It could be the chemtrail fallout that goes into the rain, goes into the groundwater, into the soil, and the vegetables or whatever food is growing up with that, incorporating it. So we're getting it whether we like it or not, as much as we like to think we're avoiding it. I mean, I'm trying to avoid it at all costs, but still I'm sure that it's getting into me somehow. And I never would have thought we'd be buying water. I remember when water used to be good and you could just turn it on and get it out of the faucet. But now, you got to buy it in plastic. It's been sitting there leaching all this stuff. I mean, I literally have plastic coming out of my body. You've seen it. If you've seen any of my videos, especially my leg here, this one spot on the bottom, right above my ankle on my right leg, that has been, it's finally almost down, because I've been putting these patches on them that has salicylic acid in it. I'm working with acids, and I'm using them on my own body, but I don't want to like tell people to do it until I'm sure that it's not going to hurt them. Yeah, I have some colloidal silver little ointment or something I just got, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't want to, I'm using like multiple things, and then if I get some good results, I won't know what actually caused it, because one of the things I've done was I told them to go away and use it. I try to do it like that, and it seemed like that started to work. I swear to God, I don't know if I was imagining it or what, but maybe it was something else I did. But some of these lesions I have are like, they turned into like cigarette burns. And then I was listening to Michelle, the Truth and Integrity Warrior. I don't know if you know of Michelle. She's a Mexican girl, and she's in Austin right now. Oh, who was it that was from Austin? Denise. She's dealing with this stuff too. She's in Austin right now, and she was talking about how like one day her skin could be totally clear, nothing there, and then the next thing she's got all these bumps and cuts and looks like meth sores. But I'm starting to think that they put something in the meth to experiment on the meth addicts, just like they experimented on me as a child. But the meth addicts and the homeless and these people in these shelters, they're using as experiments. And I think that they put this nanotech poisoning or whatever into the meth to try it out, to see what happens. And that's where they got these meth sores or lesions coming out of their body, so that now when we're getting it, and I never did meth in my whole life. I already told you I was a heroin addict for 5 years. I did that back in the 80s, early 80s, and I quit and never went back to it again. So now us people who are sensitive to this and have it, or trying to kick it out, whether it's through our mental or however we're doing it, where we're resisting it, not wanting to assimilate it, and it's showing up like this, and people accuse me of being a meth addict. Like when I was in when I went to jail in Florida, the fucking security guard was accusing me of that. She literally pushed me when I had handcuffs on behind my back, and I couldn't, if I would have fell on my face, I wouldn't have been able to stop myself. I could have broke my teeth, like as if it's not broken already. Okay, wait, I have to see what you just said. They genetically modified a virus to spray on lunch meat to target Listeria bacteria. There is no such thing as virus, hon. There is no such thing. They have not proven that. But they could be doing something else, which is mostly likely the nanotech poisoning. You can't genetically modify something that isn't real. There is no such thing. Now, bacteria is real, but not viruses. And that's why this whole thing is just one big shit show, because it ain't even true. And then here's Gates on, telling the world they're going to stick it, they're going to get a vaccine stuck in their veins. You don't put vaccines in veins. You put them in muscle tissue. You don't stick them in. He don't even know what he's talking about. He's fucking crazy. I was going to do some different impersonation videos, and he was one I was going to do. Gates, who I think is not a real man. Neither do I think Fauci is. I think Fauci is the daughter of Father Teresa. Ain't no mother in there hiding under that costume. You can hide a myriad of things under that thing. Look at that face. Do you call that a woman? I don't know what these creatures are, but I don't think they're what they're presenting, for one thing. I don't know if they're if they're doubles, you know, like intersexed or doing something to their own anatomy, their own chemistry or whatever to make them maybe both genders, but they aren't like, I don't know. There's people that are talking about it. One girl that I do follow, there's two girls that are Michelle X that I follow both of them, and they're both talking two different things. One's talking about the transgender agenda, and the other one's talking about the nano poisoning. It's Morgellons Live, and her channel's been taken. Both of them are being attacked and getting their channels taken down. And now they're coming after me, but I haven't been doing a lot, so they haven't, so I don't know if, like, I haven't been doing live streams like they started taking them down once I was doing them, so like for some reason my nose is stuck. I think maybe because she's sweeping the floor or something. I'm not usually allergic to things, but maybe dust going around flying up my nose will make it run. So at least the place is pretty clean. It's not too dirty. All right, so it's 1, 1, 1, 1. 5 ones, 11, 111 and 11 minutes it was. So I should have stopped it there. Does anybody want to talk about anything before I get off? I'm going to have to go do laundry. Shouldn't take too long, a couple hours, but. Okay, let me see. Yeah, how do you do that? How do you balance out your, you know, I believe that's true, but I don't know, the way they have us set up to be born as one thing or another, and then they fucking throw in all this shit and confuse people up to, like, not figure out what the hell they are, you know, when it's very evident what they are. But, you know, I mean, if you're assigned, you know, a vagina and boobs and stuff like that, and you can carry children, you're a woman, and a man can't do that. So you can only go so far with this balancing out of the two things, because we're predominantly one or the other, and we have maybe some characteristics that are a little more so, you know, like, I always thought I was, like, because I was such a tomboy, I didn't think I was feminine at all. And then I have a really, a girl that's she's an artist. I don't know if you ever heard of Tracy Taylor, but she gets, like, her paintings are over 10 grand. She's very well known. You've probably seen her paintings. She does watercolor. She's a watercolor artist. And I used to help her. I used to do her massage and her haircuts and her whole family and the whole, you know, people she paid to help her and all that stuff. I did them all. And when I said that to her, she goes, "Oh my God, you are the epitome of femininity." It's like, whoa, what a compliment that was. When here I'm thinking myself like I'm such a tomboy, which I am. I mean, I climb trees and do all kind of, you know, like I said, I go fishing and I used to go hunting, but I never actually shot anything. I mean, I could have, but I just chose not to. I mean, I had a deer in my sight. I just liked being out in the woods. I had a couple of cool, pretty hardcore guns. I had a 30-30 Savage and a Remington 30-06, which could kill an elephant. It'd probably knock me over now, the kickback on it, which is, I don't think I could stand up to it now. My balance is so off from this shit. Okay, I'm gonna go too, hon. So unless anyone wants to talk about anything specifically, thank you all for being here, for bringing your eternal spirit soul here, and sharing in this perfect moment now. Be here now. Try to stay in the now as much as possible, not being in the future or the past, because it's all the same anyway. But our happiness and our bliss is our most precious gift, if we can try to stay with that and not let all these things persuade us otherwise. So on that note, I am gonna say goodbye. Love y'alls too, and stay happy, healthy, and free. Don't stay safe. I'm not gonna put that curse on you. I don't like that when people say that to me. Stay safe from what? The boogeyman? That's the fear-invoking stuff. So, I hope you all are happy and having fun. Laughing is the best medicine for real. You know, it's the best thing we could do is be laughing and being that light spirit all the time. So, stay cool, y'all. Till next time, much love to ya.